Dustin narrowed his eyes at the sight of the swinging blades. They had chosen to accuse him of being a traitor without even trying to get the full picture. Tilda, there must be a misunderstanding. There's no way Dustin is the spy. Natasha objected. We'll know whether it's a misunderstanding after doing an investigation. Tilda shouted icily. Tie him up. Kill him if he tries to resist. Kill me? Dustin frowned. You're making such extreme decisions when the investigations haven't even begun. Aren't you going a bit too far? Tilda humphed. For the good of the Harmon family, I can do anything. How can you be sure that I'm the spy? Dustin retorted. I don't need to be sure. You are the spy if I say so. Tilda responded domineeringly. Seeing how unreasonable Tilda was being, Dustin's expression hardened. He had been trying to reason things out peacefully the entire time, yet Tilda accused him of being the mole without any proof. She had gone too far? Tilda, there's no solid evidence yet. Don't you dare mess around. Natasha uttered, voice rising. I'm your head of security, which makes me responsible for your safety. This man is obviously treacherous and evil, shouted Tilda. Tilda, there must be some misunderstanding. Dustin saved my life. Without him, we wouldn't have been able to leave the Hummer villa, explained Ruth from the side. He's just acting. He's fooled all of you. Tilda retorted. But Tilda cut Ruth off sharply before she could say another word. No buts. When it comes to your safety, it's better to kill wrongly than be sorry afterward. I don't understand. We have nothing against each other, so why are you being so aggressive towards me? Dustin questioned. Stop acting. You may have fooled them, but you can't fool me. You better yield if you don't want to die. Tilda snapped. And if I refuse, questioned Dustin. Then I'll have no choice but to force you. Tilda glanced at her subordinate. Kneel. Two men immediately brought their blades to Dustin's neck. Don't make me fight you, Dustin warned hostilely. So what? What are you going to do about it? Get onto your knees. Now. One of the men roared before sweeping a foot toward Dustin's knee. Dustin didn't even budge. Instead, the man was pushed back 2 steps from the force. You fucker. Embarrassed, the man was about to give another blow when Dustin suddenly shot out his hand and slammed it down on the man's crown. With a loud noise, the man's head burst apart, and he died on the spot. What? Everyone exclaimed, their expressions changing after seeing the scene unfold before them. No one expected Dustin to be such a ruthless man, killing without a word. He didn't give a damn about the Harmon family. Fuck you. Furious, the other man slashed his blade at Dustin. He is the spy. Kill him. Tilda immediately ordered, ruthless. At her command, the rest of the men immediately charged toward Dustin with blades in their hands. The look in Dustin's eyes hardened, and he charged into the awaiting mob and began wiping them out. Within seconds, all of Tilda's subordinates were laying on the ground, motionless. With clean and decisive moves, he managed to kill all of them with a single blow. You bastard! How dare you kill the Harmon family's best men? You're done for. Going ballistic, Tilda pulled out a sword from her waist and lunged at Dustin with incredible speed. With a blank expression on his face, Dustin tilted his head sideways to avoid Tilda's attack and in a flash, gave the woman a punch in the abdomen. Tilda screamed in pain as her body soared through the air and landed heavily on one of the MPVs. Instead of standing down, Dustin darted forward, grabbed Tilda by the neck and lifted her. The woman gasped as breathing became difficult, and she felt her strength draining away. Like a sitting duck, she was now completely at Dustin's mercy. "Dustin, please let her go. She's family," Ruth cried. "Mr. Rhys, you can kill anyone but Tilda, or the consequences will be dire." Stefan was terrified as well. "I'm Natasha's elder as well as the backbone of the Harmon family. To kill me is to make yourself the #1 enemy of the Harmon family," Tilda taunted with a vicious humph. As soon as she said that, Dustin put more pressure, and a crisp crack sounded as Tilda's head went slack. The woman was now dead. Tilda's countenance was frozen in a myriad of emotions. Shock, dismay, even disbelief. She never expected Dustin to be unreasonable enough to kill her without caring about the Harmon family. Everyone stood motionless, frozen in shock as they stared at the limp body on the ground before exchanging looks of dismay and disbelief with one another. This was Tilda Snyder they were talking about. Natasha Harmon's elder and the most important elder in the Harmon family. And she was gone just like that? Dustin must be mad. "Rhys, are you crazy? You killed Tilda? Do you have any idea what you've done?" Ruth demanded with wide eyes, dismayed. "She was going to kill me first, so of course, I had to kill her first. Was I supposed to just stand there and let her kill me?" Dustin snorted. Ruth was so furious that words caught in her throat. "Mr. Rhys, you're in trouble now." Stefan shook his head sympathetically. "Dustin Rhys, you killed our family's pillar." "Wait till the Harmon family hears about this," a bald guard yelled furiously. "This bastard must be out of his mind. Killing Tilda is like launching an attack on the entire Harmon family," he thought. "Ms. Harmon, what do you think?" Dustin turned his attention to Natasha. He wanted to take this opportunity to understand what Natasha was thinking about. Mr. Rhys was defending himself. "I see nothing wrong with that." Natasha quickly regained her composure. Dustin was relieved to hear her reply and decided that Natasha was a friend worth making. "Ms. Harmon, I was not killing carelessly." "Take a look at her body," said Dustin, and he yanked at Tilda's shirt. On her wrist there was a tattoo shaped like a snake. "Isn't this the same symbol as the ones on those assassins? Why would Tilda have one too?" Stefan was dumbfounded. On the other hand, Ruth had a look of horror as she cried, "No way. Tilda was the spy?"